Amen. Can we give up offering for the Lord? Amen. How many of you are excited to be here this afternoon? Ay, wala. Okay. How many are ready to receive the blessing of God? Amen. So my dear brothers and sisters, we are now on the top 3 of our series. Parang may echo ako, di ba? O malakas lang talaga yung boses ko. Pwede nang walang mic, di ba? We are still in our series Nation Building, and we are now on our top 3 entitled Make a Leader. And just to recap on what happened on the previous 2 talks, so on talk 1, sino nag-talk ng talk 1? Si Jude. Okay, so ano sinabi ni Jude ng talk 1? To build our nation, we need to build our family. Very good. So in talk 2 last week, of course, for us to be able to build our nation, we need to build our church. And today, we are in talk 3, and it is to build the nation, we need to build your heart. Okay, so as early as now, I'm going to tell you that the big message this afternoon is change your heart. Sabi mo sa katabi mo, change your heart. Amen. So that is our big message. And with that, thank you and see you next week. Tapos na po. Okay, so hindi pa tapos. Okay, so I'm just giving you the big message so that you can have an idea on what we will be talking about. So we need to change our heart. And how do we do that? Of course, we will discuss later. I know that you're excited. Excited ba kayo magkaroon ng heart transplant this afternoon? Parang ayaw na mapalitan yung puso nyo. Diba? We all wanted to have the change of heart. And before we continue, I invite you to pray this beautiful prayer with me, the one that we always pray. And this is the prayer wherein we ask and we declare the abundance in all our lives. So, damahin natin ang prayer na to in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. All together today,
I receive all that God has done for me. Today I open myself to the unbounded, limitless, overflowing abundance of God's universe. Today I open myself to God's blessings, healing and miracles. Today I open myself to God's word, so that I become more like Jesus every day. Today I proclaim that I am God's beloved, I am God's servant, I am God's powerful champion, and because I am blessed, I am blessing the world. In Jesus' name, amen.
that's all I'm doing. Martial law. Oy, bata lahat. Oy, si Kuya Ismael lang. Martial law babies. Naka-experience ng EDSA 1. Ay, bata talaga sila lahat. OMG. EDSA 1. Oh, sister. EDSA 2. Siguro na meron ng EDSA 2, di ba? EDSA 2. Oh my. Ay, ano taon ba kayo pinanganak? My gosh. Saan year kayo pinanganak? 2016, ganon.
Ay, erap kami.
Okay. So, of course, the EDSA 1 I cannot remember. I was only 2 years old, okay? But the EDSA 2 I can remember because this is in 2001, okay? So, in 2001, I really remember EDSA 2 because during the time that the people are marching to EDSA, I was actually in Mapua doing my entrance exam, okay? So, because the reason why I took entrance exam in Mapua is because ang requirement ng nanay ko is kailangan yung university or yung school na papasukan ko ay hindi sumasali sa rally.
Yes.
Okay? So, yung requirement niya. So, ayan, naiintindihan ko. Alam niyo na kung bakit hindi ako pinag-aral sa UP, okay? But I salute all those people from UP, okay? So, kaya sa Mapua ako nag-aral. And I remember na nag-entrance exam ako, wala pa alam talaga ang Mapuans pa ganyan. Papakal sila. So, yung mga tao nasa EDSA nagra-rally. And I remember because I was graduating in high school that time, and I was quite an idealist that time, di ba? Parang, when you're young, you really hold on to, you know, the what is it, the quote or the saying of Jose Rizal. Do you still remember kung ano bang sinabi ni Jose Rizal?
Alin doon?
Ang kabataan, ang pag-asa ng bayan, di ba? When I was still that young, I really believed that the youths are the hope of the nation. And so as young as I am, during that time, I'm graduating in high school. In my own idea, I always believe that the future of our nation belongs to our hands. So we have our role to play. And I remember that my graduation speech actually tackles that idea that we, as the youth of that time, we have a role that we are going to play after we graduated. And the first sentence of my graduation speech is something like this. Yung first lang hindi ko kaya sabihin lahat So my graduation speech is like this. History repeats itself, but we never learn from it. 15 years after the first people power, we once again find ourselves cast in a major epic for which we, as a nation, will not only be remembered, but honored. So that is the first line of my speech. Of course, I cannot remember the rest, okay? So, nakalimutan ko na yung ibang part. But that is my thinking that time. And we all know what happened after EDSA 2. Nagkaroon pa ng EDSA 3. Okay? Then, there's so many protests, rally, coup that is happening. And then, of course, Gloria stayed onto her power for 9 years. And after 9 years, we have Pinoy, and now we have Duterte, okay? So that's actually the Philippine politics, okay? If you're still aware of the Philippine politics. And I thank God for our government because we are practicing democracy. The people has the power to elect the government officials, okay? So, sino dito yung mga botante? Overseas absentee voters. Yan. So, let's practice our rights. Diba? Of, voting and selecting those people who will be the next leader of our country. But the problem is, here's the problem with our government. We don't know how to pass the baton properly. Our leaders, most of them, they cling on to power. And if they will pass on, halimbawa, nag-end na yung term. For example, mayor, 3 beses ka lang pwede maging mayor. Kailangan pang-4, magpapahinga ka na. Okay? So what they normally do is pinapasa sa anak, di ba? Yung son or daughter, kapag wala, daughter-in-law, son-in-law, basta ka mag-anak. Kaya di ba, pansinin nyo, most of the politicians in the Philippines are ang han. So, within them lang yung mga pumapalit sa kanila. So we don't know how to pass the baton properly. And that is the problem. Kasi if we don't know how to pass the leadership to the next generation, the organization will start to crumble, okay? Now, why is it that those leaders are so afraid of, passing on the leadership to others? Ask me why.
Why?
Because of insecurity. Diba? Nabanggit na ito ni Sis Nams. Yes, ask me. Because of insecurity. And this is not just happening to our government. It happens everywhere, in any organization. For example, sa opisina nyo, there are some managers or leaders in your office that are, sobrang damot. Ayaw mag-share ng knowledge. Kasi, they're so afraid na, baka maging mas magaling ka sa kanila at palitan mo sila. Okay? And that is what we call insecurity. There are, great leaders in a community that has been anointed and has been blessed by God. And, the leader has been able to build the community and bless so many. But the problem is, as great as that person is, he doesn't know how to build the next generation leaders. Gusto niya siya lang yung laging bida. Gusto niya siya lang yung nasa harapan. And, ang ending, instead of building up the kingdom of God, he ended up building a kingdom for himself, and that is also what we call insecurity. So, that is the problem with most of our leaders, diba? Takot na takot sila na mawalan ng title at ng power. Okay? Bakit? Kasi nga, diba, most of them, they think that kapag nawala yung power, yung title, yung position, nawawala rin kung sino sila. Okay? And today, we will tell you what we can do. What is the antidote for insecurity? Can you all read? The only solution, you need to find your security with God. Okay? Hindi mo mahanap yung security mo sa kahit na anong bagay sa mundo. You can only find it with God. So let's discuss more. Sabi ko kanina, di ba, most people, they're afraid to lose their position, their title, because feeling nila nawawala yung identity nila. Because there are some people, they marry their identity with authority. Okay? So halimbawa, gusto ni mayor lang siya forever, kasi feeling niya, pag hindi na siya mayor, wala na siyang kwenta. He becomes worthless, he becomes useless. Okay? So, naka-attach yung identity nila sa authority nila, naka-attach yung identity nila sa title nila, naka-attach yung identity nila sa position nila. And, may I remind you, my dear brothers and sisters, that if you are going to do that, you will end up feeling worthless and useless. Kasi all those positions, all those titles, all those authority, it will disappear. Mawawala yun lahat. If you are going to attach your authority or your identity, you need to attach it with someone that is constant, with something that is never changing, with something that is forever. And what is that? You need to attach your identity with Jesus only.
Amen.
Because Jesus is the forever. He is the only thing that is constant in this world. As He said, I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. Amen?
Amen.
So when you look for your security, you need to look only to Jesus. You marry your identity with Jesus only. And as for the leaders, this is a reminder to all the leaders, because I know that there are so many leaders in this community. Leadership is never a solo race, but it is always a relay race. Okay? So, hindi siya 100-meter dash o hindi siya marathon. Alam niyo ba yung relay race? Yung pinapasa-pasa yung baton habang tumatakbo kayo. Okay? So, leadership is a relay race. So, you need to learn how to pass the baton to the next person. Because if you don't know how to pass it to the next person, your organization will be gone. Diba? If you're a leader right now, and you're so good in what you're doing, but you did not pass the baton to the next generation, you're limiting the lifetime of your organization. Kasi pag namatay ka na, wala na rin yung organization mo, okay? So if you want your organization to last for a lifetime, you need to learn how to pass the baton to the next generation of leaders para kahit wala ka na, the organization continues. And that is what we've been doing here at the feast. Bo Sanchez is passing on his leadership to the new leaders so that the LOJ community will continue to thrive even though wala na yung mga elders. Okay? So it's a relay race. And for us to be able to pass on the baton to the next generation of leaders, we need to have a selfless heart. Yun yung kailangan natin. Kailangan yung mga servants or yung mga tao ngayon, magkaroon sila ng puso na handang magbigay at magparaya at magsakripisyo para sa iba. So we need to change the heart of the person for them to become selfless. Kaya nga this afternoon, di ba, our big message is, change your heart. And this is our Bible verse for this afternoon. Can we all read?
I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you.
I will remove from you this afternoon. God is telling each one of you that He will give you a heart of flesh. For us to be able to build up new leaders, selfless leaders, we need to change our heart. You need to change your heart. And the question this afternoon is, are you ready to have the change of heart? Are you ready to have a heart transplant? Are you ready to give? Are you willing to sacrifice? Are you ready to die for others so that they may live? Are you ready to change your heart? Can I invite you to bow down your head? as I pray for all of you this afternoon. Heavenly Father, these are your people. I surrender them all to you, O God. Speak to their hearts, O Lord, and change their hearts. Change their heart to be selfless and to be like you, so that we can start to make a change in our life, in the life of others, and in our nation. And this we pray in your mighty name. Amen. Person beside you, God will speak to you today. Ayan. So sabi nila dito daw ako sa harap kasi masyado akong maliit, hindi ako makita nung nasa likod. So dito ako sa taas, ha? Okay, so we are now on our series, on our talk, Make a Leader. And this afternoon, we are going to talk about two famous Bible stories. Okay, we will compare two leaders in the Bible. So, we will talk about Moses and Saul. Okay, so sino familiar kay Moses? Hindi niyo na pala yung Prince of Egypt? Wala talaga si Jun lang. Jun, alika. Dali kwento mo. So, Moses. The story of Moses. Anybody can tell? Hello, you let it? Parting of the sea. Okay. So, si King Saul, kilala nyo? Yes. Hindi si Paul to ha, si Saul. Wala. Sige. Sa Netflix may palabas, Exodus and Kings. Nagpo-promote na naman ako. Exodus and Kings sa Netflix. Story ni, ni Moses. So, okay. So, we all know Moses, right? The great leader who rescues the Israelites from the slavery in Egypt. Okay? So, siya yung nakipaglaban dun sa Pharaoh of Egypt, and he brought all the Israelites, to the promised land. Diba? The famous parting of the sea. Okay? So, nung unang panahon, si Moses, siya yung parang si Iron Man, si Superman, diba? Siya yung hero nung unang panahon, diba? So, that is Moses. And what makes Moses a great leader is this. He knows when his time is up. Okay? He was able to, bring the Israelites and cross to the other side. And the thing is, they spent 40 years in the desert. Okay? So what happens when they are already in the desert? So this is what happened in the story of Moses. Can you all read?
Then Moses went out and spoke these words to all Israel. I am now 120 years old, and I am no longer able to lead you. The Lord has said to me, you shall not cross the Jordan.
Okay, so this is Moses speaking to Joshua and to all the Israelites. Ang sabi niya, I'm already old, I can no longer lead you, okay? So, what makes Moses a great leader is he knows when his time is up. Okay? So, inadmit niya sa sarili niya that I can no longer do this. We need to find a new leader. And sino yung bagong leader na papalit sa kanya? It was Joshua. Okay? So si Joshua yung magtutuloy nung sinimulan ni Moses. And if you're going to read the story, si Moses actually was not able to reach the promised land. Okay? Namatay siya. He was not able to reach the Canaan. But the Israelites, that time, were able to reach the Canaan through the leadership of Joshua. Okay? So, yun yung leadership style ni Moses. Na alam niya na, okay, tapos na yung part ko, I'll give it to someone else. But what about Saul? Diba? Si Saul, actually, if you're going to read in the Bible, he's also a great leader. During that time, the Israelites, they don't have a king. And there is a clamor for them to have a king. And Saul has been anointed to become the king. And if you're going to read the story of Saul, he's actually a great leader. He won so many battles. He has so many victories. But he did a mistake. He disobeyed God. Okay? And because he disobeyed God, God was disappointed with him. And so, sabi ni Lord, palitan na natin siya. Kasi he's not following me. And so Samuel was the one who was tasked to do it. And so, ito yung sabi ni Samuel kay Saul. But Samuel said to him, I will not go back with you. You have rejected the word of the Lord, and the Lord has rejected you as a king over Israel. So, binigyan niya ng warning si Saul na you can no longer be the king. Okay? But here's the thing. Si Saul, ayaw niya. He did not accept it. He did not acknowledge it. So, makikita niyo yung difference ni Moses at ni Saul. Diba? When Moses, nung alam niyang time niya is up na, kasi nga, he can no longer cross to Canaan, naghanap na siya ng papalit sa kanya. But when Saul, nung sinabihan siya na, okay, time's up, sabi niya, no, ako pa din dapat yung hari. So, nandun yung difference nila. Moses was able to identify when his time is up, but Saul was too blinded to see it. Okay? A real legend knows his limits. Alam nila kung hanggang kailan lang sila. Kapag tapos na yung term mo, you should learn how to step down and pass it on to the next generation of leaders. Kasi, sabi nga ni Sis Webs last week, you cannot call it a successful leadership kung wala kang successor. Okay? There's no success without successors. Kung wala kang tagapagmana, walang susunod dun sa mga pinaghirapan mo, the organization will crumble. That is not successful leadership. Okay? Kaya kailangan magbibuild tayo ng mga new leaders that will become our successors. Only then we can call it a successful leadership. Okay? So, when the time is up for Moses, so tinawag na si Joshua. Medyo hindi ko siya mabasa, pasensya na. Then Moses summoned Joshua and said to him in the presence of all Israel, Be strong and courageous, for you must go with these people into the land that the Lord swore to their ancestors to give them, and you must divide it among them as their inheritance. The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. So this is Moses speaking to Joshua. Okay? So this is the time that Moses is already passing on the leadership to Joshua. Ang sabi niya kay Joshua, be strong and courageous kasi you're going to lead these people to the Canaan, to the land that has been promised to them. And ang bili ni Moses kay Joshua, once you reach the promised land, you have to divide it to those people because that is their inheritance. So, ito na yung mga huling habilin. Okay? So, naghahabili na siya kay Joshua. And that is what successful leaders do. 'Di ba? Kapag alam nilang time's up na, 'di ba? Pagpasa nila ng position dun sa kasunod nila, they will, give some tips. Kung ano yung mga dapat mong gawin, kung ano yung mga hindi mo dapat gawin. 'Di ba? That is how great leaders work. And this is what happened. Nung kinausap na ni Moses yung mga Israelites, then they answered. Sabi nila, Joshua, whatever you have commanded us, we will do, and wherever you send us, we will go. Just as we fully obeyed Moses, so we will obey you. Only may the Lord your God be with you as He was with Moses. So ano nangyari dito? After Joshua received the leadership from Moses, because the passing of the baton was done properly, the Israelites respected the decision. And ang sabi ng mga Israelites, kung saan tayo pupunta, we are going to follow. Okay? Kung anong sasabihin mo, gagawin namin. Kasi naniniwala kami na in the same way that God is with Moses, we also know that God is with you. And that is the beautiful thing if the past passing of the leadership is done properly. Kasi if the passing of the leadership is done properly, yung mga tao, susunod sila. Okay? Iba naman yung kwento ni Saul. So, different story si Saul. So, si Saul, nung nalaman niya na hindi na nga siya yung magiging hari and someone has been appointed or anointed to be the next king, ayaw niya. Alam naman natin lahat kung sino yung na-anoint na bagong king, di ba? After Saul?
Yes. David.
David, okay? So, David was anointed to be the next king. But Saul doesn't want that. If you will remember the scene inside the king's court, yung nagpe-play ng harp si David, di ba? Ano ginagawa ni Saul? Pinagpaplanuhan niyang patayin si David. Kasi feeling niya, ito yung kasunod ko, this is a threat to my kingdom. So, nakita natin na kung si Moses maluwag sa kalooban niya, si Saul, ayaw na ayaw niya. And this is the simple comparison of the leadership of Moses and Saul. So sabi natin, si Moses willingly give up his position and find a successor, but si Saul, he clings onto his position. Okay? So, Moses knows his limit is up, but si Saul, he's too blinded to see when his limit is up. And of course, Moses was able to pass the authority and done it properly, pero si Saul, walang nangyaring passing of authority, okay? And if you will read through the story, Moses died peacefully. Hindi man siya nakarating sa promised land, but he died peacefully because he knows that the Israelites are in good hand with Joshua. But, how did Saul die? Anybody? Saul died in his own sword. Nagpakamatay siya. Okay? So, that is the image of a true leader. Moses is a definition of a selfless leader, but Saul is a definition of a selfish leader. Okay? So, nakita natin yung difference nila. Now, what we need is not people like Saul. Okay? Hindi natin kailangan ng mga taong katulad ni Saul. Ang kailangan natin ay katulad ni Moses. We need people who are selfless to lead the people, okay? We need selfless leaders to lead our country, to lead our organization, to lead our community, to lead our family. Yun yung kailangan natin, okay? Hindi natin kailangan ng mga selfish leaders who see their successors as their enemies. Diba? May mga, kilala ba kayong mga leader, whether it's in your organization, in your community, or in your, in anywhere, na they're so selfish, they feel you're a threat to them. Yung hindi ka man nila pinapatay physically, pinapatay ka naman nila emotionally, di ba? Pinihirapan ka, di ba?
That's murder.
Di ba sinisiraan ka sa iba, dinidiscredit ka, di ba? May mga ganun eh. Dinidiscredit yung mga ginagawa mo, or minsan, kapag medyo malala na yung leader, kasi feeling nila, papantan mo na sila sa posisyon nila, tinatanggal ka na sa company. Ay, magaling tong batang ko, tanggalin natin, di ba? Yung mga ganon, and it happens. Okay? But we don't need those kind of leaders. We don't need selfish leaders. What we need to build our nation and to build our organization is leaders who are selfless, who are always ready to give and to sacrifice themselves for the good of many. Okay? So, let me talk about how David was anointed as a king. So, sabi ko kanina, si Samuel, si King Saul has been rejected already by God. Okay? Ayaw na ni Lord sa kanya. So, anong ginawa ni Lord? Sinabihan niya si Samuel na, okay, let's look for a new king. Ayaw ko na sa kanya, pagtanan natin siya, okay? So, this is what happened. The Lord said to Samuel, how long will you mourn for Saul, since I have rejected him as a king over Israel? Fill your horn with oil and be on your way. I am sending you to Jesse of Bethlehem. I have chosen one of his sons to be king. So, the task of Samuel is to find a successor of Saul. And ang sabi sa kanya ni Lord, pumunta ka sa Bethlehem, hanapin mo si Jesse, may mga anak na lalaki yon. Okay? Doon sa mga anak niya, doon ko pipiliin kung sino yung sunod na magiging hari. Now, Jesse, ilan yung anak niya? Na lalaki? 8. Okay, Jesse has 8 sons. And of course, in the culture before and even now, mapapansin natin na you choose a leader, normally pinipili mo yung pinakapanganay. Di ba? So, si Samuel, when he went to see Jesse, he's so excited kasi feeling niya, ang dali naman ito. Caring, pipiliin ko lang kung sino yung magiging bagong king. Of course, pag nakita ko yung panganay, yun na yun. Okay? So, of course, once Samuel arrived in the house of Jesse, Jesse presented all his sons. So, eto yung mga anak ko, sabi ni Jesse. So, pili ka na sino ba yung sunod na magiging hari. And so, he presented Eliab. Eliab is the eldest. Okay? And when Samuel saw Eliab, okay, ang nasa isip niya, oh, this is the one. Diba? He stands like a king, he talks like a king, he walks like a king. This must be the king that I am looking for. But God said, no. No, he's not. So, second son. Okay, baka pwede na yung second son. And sabi ni Lord, no pa din. Third son. Sabi ni Lord, no, hindi siya. Fourth son, fifth son. Na-present na lahat ng anak ni Jesse. Wala pa rin napili si Lord. So si Samuel, he becomes so frustrated. Sabi niya kay Jesse, wala ka na ibang anak? Eto na yon. Wala na bang iba? And so Jesse said, I still have one. He's out there. Nagpapastol ng mga tupa namin. But he's too young. So parang in the mind of Jesse, he's, at the back of his mind, he's telling Samuel, no, he cannot be the king. He cannot be the next king. He's just a little boy. What will he know about leadership? And so Samuel said, it's okay, you call him. Tawagin mo yung youngest son mo, papuntahin mo dito. And when David arrives, God said, rise and anoint him. This is the one. This is the one. Now, what is the lesson that we can get from this story? Here's the thing. This is the message that the Lord wants to tell Samuel, and this is the same message that He is telling to all of you now. Do not consider his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. But the Lord looks at the heart. Because this is our, most common mistake. We are sucker for appearance, diba? Pag maganda, pwede yan. Maganda yung bihis, maganda yung tindig. Pwede na yan. Kaya sa Pilipinas, diba, kapag artista ka, mananalo ka. Pansinin nyo, karamihan ng celebrity na tumakbo ng any, position in the office, nananalo. Diba? Because we look only on the outside appearance. Pag nakita natin pag manamit siya, mukhang malinis, mukhang mabango, mukhang kagalang-galang, pwede na. Next leader, diba? Kahit naman sa paghahanap ng pag-ibig, di ba? Tinitingnan mo muna ang itsura niya. Di ba? Kaya minsan daming naloloko, tinignan lang kung anong itsura. Gwapo nga, naloloko pala, di ba? Don't look at the outside appearance. Look. May hugot. Wala nga akong jowa para magkakahugot. So, we're sucker for appearance, okay? So, most of us, we tend to look out at the outside, but we miss to see the inside of the heart. Okay? So, ano ba yung heart na tinutukoy dito? Most of us, pag sinabing heart, it's equal to feelings, di ba? Ini-equate natin yung heart sa feelings. Kaya, di ba, pag may nagtatanong sa'yo ng may problema, ganyan, nagtatanong ng advice, anong normal yung sagot natin? You follow your heart. Diba? Sundin mo ano nasa puso mo, kung anong nararamdaman mo. Diba? You follow your heart. And, ang thinking natin, pag sinabing follow your heart, sundin mo yung nasa loob ng puso mo, it's your feelings, it's your emotion. But if you're going to read through the Bible, the heart was mentioned more than 1,000 times. And Not a single English word can capture the true meaning of heart. Okay? Masyadong marami at malalim ang ibig sabihin ng heart. Hindi lang siya basta-basta feelings. Heart can be not just your feelings, it's what you're thinking, it's what you're deciding, and it's what you're valuing. Meaning, your heart is the totality of your emotions, your mind, your will, and your conscience. Okay? So pag sinabing heart, hindi lang kung ano yung nararamdaman ha. It is a sum of your emotions, your mind, your will, and your conscience. To sum it up, heart is equal to character plus capacity. Character plus capacity. And last week, Sis Nueves mentioned the 6 character of a leader. Sino kayo makakapagsabi sa akin ng 6 character of a leader? Number 1. Courage. So we have moral and physical courage, right? Pangalawa, integrity. Oh, nakinig talaga sila. Integrity, doing the right thing when no one is looking. Pangatlo, selflessness. Of course. Yun yung nag-uusapan natin ngayon, diba? Selflessness, diba? Pangapat, empathy, okay? You don't just, understand, you share the feelings of other. Panglima?
Collaboration.
Okay. Very good. So, collaboration, diba? And a leader must know how to collaborate, diba? If your leader doesn't talk to you, doesn't collaborate with you, that is not leadership. Pang-anim? Reflection. Ay, very good, Sis Loves. Nakinig sila sa'yo. So, reflection. So, a leader is going to have some time off and reflect on his decision and his actions. Okay, that's character. Okay? But, we don't just look at the character of the person. We need to look at the capacity. That is the wisdom to lead. Okay? Because a person might have a character, but if he doesn't know how to lead, the organization will crumble, will fall. If the person, has a knowledge or has a wisdom to lead, but that person doesn't have the character, ganun din yung ending nun, okay? The people will suffer. So, when you look for your next leader, you need to look at the heart. When we say you look at the heart, you look at the character and capacity. Okay? And what are the questions that you need to answer so that you can see the character and the capacity of your leader? Kailangan, tanungin nyo, is he selfless? And can he lead? So, is he selfless? And can he lead? That's the 2 questions. And as we end our nation building series, ito yung dapat nating baunin lahat. That the only long-term solution for changing our nation is changing our hearts.
One heart at a time.
And here at the feast, it's what we are doing. Here at the feast, we are changing your hearts, one heart at a time. So,
One heart na ha.
one heart at a time. Leadership po yung pinag-uusapan natin dito ha. Leadership, for us to become a selfless leader, you need to change your heart. You need to change your heart to become selfless. To be like Moses, to be like David, to be like Jesus. Because these, leaders in the Bible are the perfect example of those people who are so selfless that they are able to give up themselves for the good of many. As we end this afternoon, we are challenging you to become the next leaders. Not just of your family, of your organization, of your work, of your community, but of our nation. We need selfless leaders to build our nation. And God is looking into your heart. God is looking into your heart, and God is changing your heart, and God is telling you that you are the one. You're the one to serve. You're the one to care. You're the one to die. You're the one to become selfless. You need to change your heart for you to become that one person that will build and change our nation. May I invite you to stand up?